for go on an indefinite leave. I say that's a bad precedent, one. And then secondly, what they do, they begin for interfere into the office of a judge. Because today might be Justice Belmark, but if we allow this for become a precedent, which by the way is a bad precedent, it would be used subsequently in time to come. Some other CJ would refer to this and say, but by the way, they may send a Supreme Court judge on an indefinite leave. So that's why we're standing up, that's why we're speaking about this, because we don't want it happen to a Supreme Court judge. Because when once it happens to a Supreme Court judge, High Court judge not go be protected, Court of Appeal judge not go be protected, and then magistrates and self not will be protected.
So if you say it infringe on the immunity of judges and the tenure of office.
Yeah, I think it's so much about their independence, because independence not only external influence into internal matters, but internally. For example, if you as judge sit on the matter, other judge call you for influence you, then interference into your independence. So not only external factors them can interfere into the independence of the judiciary, so also internal act, internal omission, internal decisions, internal processes, and in this case we say now one way get the propensity for interfere into the independence of a judge.
More also look at the bar association. If you say if them be really active for don't write them or them for don't intervene long since for where this thing come up.
The bar association, I must say I'm a proud member of the bar association, but I am very disappointed. Bar association, I don't mean need for write the bar association. And before that letter day, I been talked to the president on the phone and say, this is the issue. Can you kindly intervene? You don't want another constitutional conundrum on this issue. And so over 2 weeks, I know from the bar association president, I say, okay, put them in writing, so it will be a reference.
With all the team that we don't hang at the bar association, they that people and they raise questions that actively kind of be active again. They know the 2 year them. You feel say you really get confidence in them. Say them go deal with that issue.
So yesterday, one senior member of the bar, possibly one of my mentors them, sent me a judgment where Kenya then deliver yesterday, 16th day of April 2020, where the case go to the Kenyan High Court on the 30th day of March. So within 16 days, they not only decide the case, the High Court judge writes 97-page judgment. And a tweet say, for like a 97-page judgment from the High Court of Sierra Leone, you might need for wait 20 years or more. So confidence in the judiciary, very, very low. We have to admit that. And so the Bar Association in position now for ensure say the judicial lever of government always occupy that space now in society where sadly speaking we see say that space the judiciary not fully occupy them. And the Bar Association forbid a bridge between the judiciary and the public.
Rule of law activist and human rights campaigner Augustine Suri Sengbe Maradi talk inside an interview with Mange Mansare for Seka one indefinite leave, where the Chief Justice sent one Supreme Court judge, Justice Nicholas Brandmark, for go. As he said, this na bad example na the judicial system. The program we listen to na Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM, 7:48 at the time from a studio control clock. We continue for a look at more issue inside the program Good Morning Salone. Well, as you can remember, the Bar Association been pull one recommendation as form of press release to authority them way concern as the Bar Association, a group of lawyers them where don't they talk on national issues them as activists them. Well, lawyer Robert Kowa, now the president for this association, they on the line now for talk on their recommendation they are. Hello, good morning, Mr. Kowa, and welcome to the program Good Morning Salone.
Good morning. Good morning, Sierra Leoneans.
As I tell listeners, them say Bar Association pull recommendations them for sake of the fight against COVID-19. But before we talk about the recommendations there, so make we look at the role of Bar Association in the fight against COVID-19 since it began in Salone.
Yes, the Bar Association are proudly for states that are one of the association we first in this country make a response to the COVID-19. And that was done on the 4th of March before the index case in Sierra Leone. We start for take initiative and put measures in place. We will prevent this virus for spreading our country by making donations to the Sierra Leone courts, all over the courts. We start for sensitize and communicate amongst WAO members them for put measures in their various offices for prevent the spread of this virus. And as we see, we keep we safely observe even before the formation of the EOC, and we see say the situation to some extent. I don't know whether possibly now we on red alert or we red line we don't reach at this period where we get more of them cases there. But when we see say we don't reach a level where we need for intervene again, we don't take some robust steps and actions for see how best we can coordinate. Before even coming out with our press release, we don't communicate with the EOC. We ask them for meet with them. Because one of the things we own association they do as an executive is to directly deal with people that are involved, not to forgo in public and just talk and then go back and sit. So we have written to them and we are waiting for them to have a dialogue so that we can know and see how best we can continue to cooperate in our own way for make we try to stop the spread of this virus in our country.
Among the recommendations them we wanna make inside una press release, one of them na 14 days lockdown. How wanna arrive at this conclusion for come with recommendations like this?
Well, from the medical advice, we are not a medical expert, but we realize one of the issue for really terminate or stop or reduce the spread of this virus now the introduction of lockdown. We see that they happen all over the world. And we've been listening to a lot of medical experts, them locally and internationally. So we feel to say it is high time the government try for implement something like that so that they can have time to trace, contact, and make sure they do proper testing.
Okay, among recommendations again when it comes on the justice system, the Bar Association inside the recommendations they call for the suspension of criminal matters, adjournment of civil matters for a month, and also criminal matters are regulated in legislative with the measures announced by government. Then two things here when it comes on the justice system, you can explain more to listeners.
Yes, we feel to say in civil matters, though there may be exceptions of some of the civil matters, then we need urgent attention. But the majority of them, because the court was on vacation just finished, and it will be necessary for lessen the crowd now the building, the law court building, and for the protection of all the one them where they work in that building, let we lessen the crowd. It is not too harmful for adjourn civil matters for a period of 1 month so that we can observe the situation. But I see the judiciary immediately, in fact, after we release, the judiciary don't take steps towards that. Though not up to 1 month, but they have been adjourned for a period of time to observe the situation. And I also see the release in respect of criminal matters, how the regulations and the directory, now so the chief justices don't try for let them implement regulations and at the courts.
Now we look at this issue of justice delay, justice deny. Delay in court proceedings for some time. You know, think say the Hamburg justice system and people themselves way they behind bars. Why would I not think about other ways like trial behind closed door?
Well, there is one thing presently in the country which we all not go shy away from. Now, the fact that psychologically we are all not too okay. There is stress, there is fear, all this they loom around we. There are certain countries, it is a total lockdown. Nothing not to go on, just for essentials. So I don't think the life, if it is not there, then what are you talking about justice?
Okay, in all of the recommendations there, so we don't get a response from the appropriate authorities, we address them to.
Well, in most of the recommendations, we don't see the judiciary don't take necessary actions, for which we are grateful. and we don't see even governments don't they put measures and send messages them and directives to different institutions, public institutions, to the effect that then they encourage everybody for use face mask in public places. So that again is a good step in the right direction. We also encourage all our colleagues, lawyers in their various chambers, for make sure they encourage litigants with the Canadian chambers for use face mask. I have done it in my own chambers. It's clear. It's a note. The notice is there. If you don't have it, don't enter.
Mr.
We
President
are
of the
waiting for
Salone
the
Bar
government.
Association, in another development also, we see Usai, there's a issue na court, Usai, the Chief Justice sent Nicholas Brownmark, Supreme Court judge, go indefinite leave. And this, according to one human rights lawyer, Augustine Sori Sengbe Mara, he said this is a very bad precedent and he don't write letter to the Bar Association. But before that, he said he gets a conversation with you on the phone, but no response in get from the bar. You don't receive a letter?
Well, as I speak with you, I not ever receive an authenticated letter from Mr. Mara. The letter I see now from WhatsApp. Few days, my secretary say he received a letter from the Bar Association email, which is unsigned. I am a lawyer. I'm leading organization dealing with lawyers, the judiciary. Mr. Mara is a human rights activist and a campaigner. And the Bar Association is not a campaign group, nor is it an activist group. The Bar Association is an association very responsible and must ensure that they act with very credible evidence. As I speak to you, I have never seen a letter being directed to Justice Brownmark. I know they say they not direct a letter. When Mr. Mara speaks to me on the first occasion, the first question I asked him, have you seen the letter? Can you let me have a copy? And as to date, I have not seen the letter and I don't have a copy.
Mr. Kowa, Lord,
yes,
say
please.
you not see the letter from Mara, and at the same time, obviously, you not got to see the letter to Nicholas Brahma because na personal letter where they sent to him. But not to secret say about 2-3 weeks ago, the CJ sent Nicholas Brahma go indefinite leave. As a lawyer and also president of the Bar Association, you not get no clue to this?
Lawyers should not act on rumors. I get rumor to that effect. Unfortunately, I went to the office because Mr. Mara asked, say, can you investigate? And I'm not going to investigate or do something. I'm going to write letter and send on a public or do public notice or put on our WhatsApp. No, this is a responsible Bar Association. We don't act like that. I went to the Chief Justice, unfortunately, few days before the lockdown, he began meetings. On 2 occasions, he began meetings. The third time, the Chief Justice was not in. I went to the office of Justice Brownmark. Unfortunately, he was not in at the time. I asked, I say, if he can work, then say yes, he can work. Subsequent investigation still proves to me, say, Justice Brownmark, they work. So if Justice Brownmark, they work, and I think something must not be too correct with the rumor I have. But with notwithstanding, we continue to make sure we investigate of whatever transpire. And if possibly there was some issue, I am of the view it may have been solved. But we not ever don't lay hands on any document. And as an association, very responsible one too, it behoves us not to make sure we go and conject into issues or just begin act on rumors. No, this is the Bar Association and not an activist group or a campaign group.
Kowa, so I dey talk to you now with authority say Justice Nicholas Brownmark dey on leave, indefinite leave. So let's just say now the process and the procedures. Which authority where you think say generally now forget about Justice Brownmark, but which authority where you think say the Chief Justice gets for send any Supreme Court judge or judge go leave?
Every act of every individual based on certain issues and certain things. Until it is done and there are reasons, then I will be able to say something on that. And I cannot just get up and say something on my own. This is an association. I have to consult the executive members or the entire membership of the bar before I can talk for and on behalf
Personally,
of the
as a
bar.
lawyer, forget about the association now. Personally, as a lawyer, we don't practice for a very long time. You think, say, a Chief Justice gets right for send any Supreme Court judge go indefinite leave?
I am of the view that there are procedures for every administrative or legal issues. That I cannot answer as just an hypothetical case. I deal with real issues, not hypothetical cases.
Very much.
Thank you.
Inside the interview there, first even they talk about the recommendations then way by association don't pull inside the fight against COVID-19. We said then call for adjournment of civil matters for a month and also 14 days lockdown among other measures then we then call for. The program you listen to na Good Morning Salone where they come to you from the Society for Democracy 98.1 FM. 1 after 8 we go for the short break. We'll come continue the program Good Morning Salone.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Edsalight, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering God.
2 minutes after 8, now the time for most studio clock. As like Abi say earlier on, we get the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Soaye. This morning they are for talk more on President's speech, where he make yesterday. Usa he say one of him bodyguard gets don't get the coronavirus. Good morning, Mr. Minister, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Asma. Good morning, the people of Freetown.
All right, now always a pleasure for getting you.
Yeah, same here.
All right, we come to you. Let's just listen again to the speech yesterday with President Biudu.
Fellow citizens, we are reminded every day that the coronavirus disease is highly infectious and rare. We continue to urge citizens to practice all hygiene protocols as prescribed by our healthcare professionals. If you or a loved one exhibits flu-like symptoms, including a fever, dry cough, and difficult breathing, report immediately to 117. They will advise on what options are available to you. Our contact tracing, disease surveillance teams, and our testing facilities have expanded their operation. As President, I, my family, and my staff have paid attention to all healthcare advisories. Unfortunately, after 14 days in quarantine, one of our security staff has tested positive for the COVID-19. The process of transferring him to a treatment center has started. By established protocols, the EOC will immediately trigger all procedures in identifying, isolating, and testing all primary and secondary contacts. Let me assure the public that members of my family and staff are healthy and have shown no symptoms consistent with COVID-19. As President, I will continue to provide leadership for the fight against COVID-19. My government remains committed to transparency and public accountability at all levels. Fellow citizens will be fully updated on all developments. Thank you.
Well, that's now President Bill yesterday. We be the address the nation. Usai say one of his security staff don't test positive. Mr. Minister, the first thing where I go like for lot about now, and we spark up debate. Now after we say after 14 days of quarantine, one of my security staff don't test positive. So now the whole presidency be there on quarantine on this particular staff now just be there on quarantine.
Asala, just preface this interview with small thing. You see, what His Excellency President Bio do yesterday, na the very peak of moral leadership at one day. Na moral leadership. Would call on people then, so we see somebody they exhibit signs and symptoms, like call 117, like report. So the president don't rise to the challenge where he don't set the rest of the country. Yeah? He don't speak out, he don't speak up. One of in gaps then say the presidential security may get signs and symptoms. They've been there in self-isolation during that period regularly as it's the protocol. Then they monitor them, then they check in temperature and check out for all other signs. On the 14th day, take in swab. On Sunday 19th, check them and discover say the positive. Yesterday, then confirm them. So, you know, as they say all the time, they do what they preach. When you get that situation, they call 117 or report to the nearest treatment center. Now that they don't do. This is moral leadership, right? The same way they sell you for do, now they don't do so.
So the issue now is the question now is who side this security gets this virus?
Well, you know, we are aware. I mean, the surveillance team, the contact tracing team, all man they doing work. It is believed that he probably visited a patient in the quarantine, in the self-isolation center, right? Now, because of that one day, because that was discovered, now because of that one day, during surveillance, contact tracing, they get attacked, now that make them in self-isolation for 14 days. On the 14th day, so this is to tell you one fundamental thing that what is the point out, that the structures and the institutions of government don't put in place for this secure so they work from contact tracing, surveillance, and all the other pillars, all of them they work because now that one they make we able to do them, we able to get them cases there so not to in the public, now in quarantine centers, quarantine outfits.
So you talk about, say, this security or bodyguard would unlikely visit somebody where they in a quarantine center.
In isolation.
In isolation center. This person is close to presidency. Then what are the measures the government they use for monitoring bodyguards there? So as you rightly mentioned, they close to presidency, they guide the president, they go for a person isolation center.
Well, you know, this is not grown-ups there. Anytime when they talk about corona, when they talk about Ebola, now the self and I'm very, very important. We say social distancing. It takes two to tango. If near you no near you push far, that's good. Then say proper cough etiquette. Where the cough, use tissue or cough on your elbow. Not so, not shake hand. All things they place a heavy burden on the individual for do that. I don't think say even in America mechanisms the way they monitor the security. It will be after a long time. Everywhere in the world, now the wheel, the self, nine get the emphasis.
We also don't see different write-ups and say this not so like the part of the main security team of the president. It's not then guarded in our house. How you go confirm this?
Well, if we did now, if you ask me now, the Ministry of Information, like I'm a cleaner, I will say one of my staff in the Ministry of Information. I mean that is responsible moral leadership. And I think so for commend the president very highly for this bravery, this courage, this exemplary leadership for do this, because this is not the only way when they talk about stigmatization we would be able to treat them after they are so, right? So now I want to use this opportunity to appeal to everybody. If you see a member of your family, your friend, your relation, they exhibit any of them sign there, nothing wrong for let you call 117 or well body will command there, let them take her into custody and do the thing there. When I see in the last few days we're not able to recover 6 patients there will be in treatment centers, not 34. That one they show say early reporting early detection can able to save patient there from, you know, then go recover fully, join them families, and live happily ever after. So now that's not the message where this is the show. The president don't just show this guy moral leadership for commander. This is being bravery and courage for doing do so.
Okay, you mentioned, President mentioned in his speech, say, he and family, then they do well and they're healthy. And according to well body work command, them for prove healthy, get for go through test. Then the president and family don't go do this?
No, not also the president's in speech say. They say none of them not exhibit any of the signs consistent with COVID-19. Right? That's what it say. So the family is healthy, yeah, but it's still they say using in better judgment on the side of caution, yeah, doing the right and proper thing. Here in family, they allow EOC protocols for kicking with immediate effect.
So is it on self-isolation?
That's exactly the message. Yes, the EOC protocols. I think say when there is any doubt, that you may have contacted a primary or secondary contact, you take the necessary precautions. And this is what the president is doing. Again, this now moral leadership. This now exemplarity what the president don't do. Because not to say contact this person, but the fact of the matter is that there is a situation around the presidency. So in they say they lead by example. So this is a challenge for all Sierra Leoneans there, or for able copy, for able emulator, right?
So they now on self-isolation, they work from home or they take a break from work?
No, absolutely. The president, you know, not digital president, not the luck with this country I get so at this particular time. We don't know the thing that we don't do, and now less alone left by in the fourth industrial revolution. So for the first time, it established a directorate of science, technology, and innovation, where they do boku thing with science and innovation. And when I go see the roles where drones they play even this current situation. So even before this situation happened, the president only address cabinet, EOC, advisory meetings virtually. They don't talk to fellow world leaders virtually. We last cabinet last week, we do them virtually. So this president is not new to digital working, right? Yeah. So he is continuing to be firmly in charge, as always. He go work digitally. They got a very supportive vice president. They got a very able cabinet and team of MDA personnel. Yeah, I mean, life goes on business as usual.
So we don't see the president day on self-isolation. We get for do this, or we get for see the security unit of the president day on self-isolation and the staff then status.
Okay, so let's put it this way. The surveillance team day, right? The surveillance team, okay, let we say all EOC protocols are kicking. The surveillance team will continue to do their work. The contact tracing team will continue to do their work. They will follow the evidence wherever it leads to. Okay, that is the point.
All right, continue for the between the program in the Minister of Information. They talk about the speech yesterday the presidents do. If you get question, concern, clarification, send them to the official number 077 981 981. We'll go for this short break where we continue the program.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty products and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank Salone for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all up at Salone. Boko no kenema, we ide. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we ide. Jala Freetown don't side, and my 91. Me and you. Union Trust Bank. Me and you. Union Trust Bank. Union Trust Bank Salone for me and you. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program you listen to na Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM, and we will bring you this edition of the program Good Morning Salone. Musa Eskamana my name.
And Minas Majibs.
We continue for a look at more issues inside the program. March 31 this year, Salone been registered the first case of confirmed COVID-19. We say one young man we been traveled from France. After about 3 weeks, this young man been done in a treatment center na 34 military hospital. If he don't finally test negative of the coronavirus, we should say he done well. But how life been turned for this young man? Alex Lawrence Kuruma talked to Abu Bakar Alpha Jojalo. We call on Salone people for further instruction them. We government the give for fight against the COVID-19.
After the 2 weeks quarantine, we government we don't pass no for. I reached the 16th, my quarantine period for on the 29th. So on the same Sunday on the 29th, we then can give you the certificate. The morning on the 29th, I realized I get cold. So like a tired and weak. So after receiving my certificate, I called my wife, I explained to her because I'm a doctor. I said that this way I feel. Now he say, well, relax yourself first and take your time exactly. That's what I will do. As I will buy more time, I'll do a day now. Take tomorrow, last see that was that myself before I ever left. Now it's okay, we'll be fine. So I listened to your advice, then God direct me as he done day for a day. Monday in the morning now. Then I call him again, I explain to him, say, I'm still weak and I still get a running nose and all that thing in there. So he decided to send the driver of the car. He said, you able to drive now? I say, yes. He said, well, I'll send the driver of the car. You drive yourself and you call 34, you can do further test. Now, so we'll be okay. At least like clear my mind before I ever come to the house.
So you go 34, now you drive yourself?
I may drive myself. The driver come, he left the key because by then, I actually normally feel fine. So I tell her, left the key. I asked me where for money because then I normally get too much Leon Samian. The driver, I said, left the money inside it. Take transport and you take motor cargo. Me, they go on side quick. I gotta drive myself now. I come 34. At the outpatient side, we have to do all the necessary arrangements. So from there, then just like day inside my motor car constant. When they're ready for me, they will call me. They're ready now, they call me. I go direct inside the triage. They still are waiting. After a few hours, people well dressed with their full PPEs, they come inside. Can't take me sample and me swab and go do the test. By then 9, still they anxiously waiting to go on for this test, which are the outcome of this test. Unfortunately, they come see positive of corona.
So that news first, tell you say you're positive and you being the first person in the country. How you be receiving the news?
I'm so shocked. They down that moment. And for being that, that the first person test of coronavirus in Sierra Leone. I normally wish for that day, as I say, go France on a business meeting at Canton. With the hopes of can meet my family. So I would expect to get a negative result. Unfortunately, it can be positive results. So that moment I accept the positive result, I decide in my mind say the only way you will beat this thing now, this thing on positive. And that particular moment I feel happy for a simple reason that I don't protect my family, I don't protect my community, I don't protect my friends that are there around me.
And so what are like the signs of where you be feel when you get this sick?
The early morning of the 29th, cold, nose block. You understand? The nose block. Along the line, I feel weak. But as I say, the symptoms, the apoplexy, you get malaria. So like, my mind just wants to say, maybe this is something like malaria. But God helped me with my welfare experience. As I tell him, he tell me this, we argue on the phone. Tell myself, accept, okay, I will do this test. So I buy a time, as I say, I left there on the Monday, wait for the 30th, right? On Monday, I left now, I drive car 34.
I know see video with your phone, and if you see what they go on the social media, how you be able to like overcome both the positive and negative comments that maybe they come out from different people, different groups, and all that.
You know, for me, that particular moment, feel bad, and I'm so distressed and turning there. But as I say again, Salone, we all know Salone. The only two the trend that Salone are bad news. So that moment, even with the bad news you go out, when I see my family picture, I feel so disappointed. You understand? I say, but however, I thank God, Usa lead also right now, because that moment if ever me come out, I may get all the thing for car out in the street, but I refuse not for do them. God just use me, he tell me, say, hey, you don't save people around you. So I accept this thing, forget about the negative aspect. So I was so happy again. I don't react, I don't give no comments. People outside will know me, then begin get all kind of arguments. A lot of people I believe say talk the positive aspect of me. And then I don't expect anything from Gandhi. For me, I save my life, save me wife and me picking there, and I save the people around me.
So you did it for almost days?
That's almost 3 weeks.
And during the waiting, I be like the thing that we do, not the treatment, not the kind of food we eat.
First of all, I would say a big thanks to the 34 military hospital, especially the doctors, the nurses, cleaners, and the trust me, if not to them people and they, an officer would die alive day like today. The moment where them go to me, because I'm the index case, all kind of love and support they give me. On the treatment side, then they immediately concentrate on them because I'm sick. You understand? Different medicines, vitamin C, encourage you to drink more water, and more or less they will always tell you say this and you will fight them, but because of your mind, you allow yourself to eat, not put anything really stress you, and God make able fight them with all the pressure me down on the social media.
So with all this, you drive yourself, you save your family. We still get people that were very reluctant when it comes to adhere to the measures. Looking at the steps that we take, what's the message really you send out now? The fact that you don't get the experience, so people still they deny or waiting people need for they do for gain help for safe community and family members.
This entire saga I go through now, today I cry. The day when they give me the result, and the day when I come out where I see people and still they into social activities. I cry inside the motor car because me know what me go through. This thing is real. Me don't go through them. I don't feel them. I advise people me to listen to government because this is real. Me don't go through them.
So now you don't come out back. You don't come. In a case the government wants to elect, okay, so let's use this young man as a case study for the tell people about this sick and so people can go in and come out. You willing for come out and get it?
I'm willing for come out at least for help again for save more people. So let people are not afraid. Anybody will feel sick so far, you feel you age, you feel say you get cold, because as I say, the symptoms are almost similar to malaria symptoms. Some man will get symptoms, you understand? But anybody will get symptoms, me the advice, you call 117, you go to hospital. If you're able to call 117, find the nearest hospital near you there. You go to go explain yourself. I feel say the medical people will be able to help you out for you do test and for save more life and save you also safe life when you feel sick.
So the medical people, them, the hospital, with the impression, but the way them they treat tuna and the way them they handle the whole process.
Honestly speaking, the time way I go there, especially now the time we don't say you get corona, I normally expect to go meet. I'm telling you, my brother Alex, they well organized. You see people who are not even related to you, the nurses, the cleaners, the doctors, and they fully dressed inside the PPEs. Sometimes they're sorry for themselves, then they sweat. Sometimes they really see clear because the glassware in the well, the heat. But thank God for the people and they, because now few people and get them hearts they for sacrifice. And secondly, I will say thanks to the Chinese team. The Chinese team, they do extremely well there for me. We get a young doctor, I'm not going to mention all my name, like Dr. Cole, Dr. Martha. These are people we are owe me life to. The nurses, and at the big government again, they are make them see to the nurses them. This are me plead to them. Because not so easy sacrifice for them people and they may they help them. May them continue. We're not saying they help them. May them continue again for the help them. Because I tell you, that moment, even your mama no go near you, but then they sacrifice their whole life. There's some like even the saying they stigmatize them. You understand? Even on your part of stigmatization, as I say, I don't forgive everybody we do that day. If you say we continue that day, this sick it go bad in this country. So Lord, we forgive and forget. We accept this thing is real and it didn't Salone.
Okay, in name na Abubakar Alpha Jojalo, in been the first person we get the COVID-19 na Salone. We then been test positive, but now you don't well, don't meet with in family back. That an interview with Alex Lawrence Kurma been do with him where they share his experience. The program na Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for a Democracy 98.1 FM.
Well, 23 minutes after 8, now the time for my studio clock, and we they come back to our studio guest, the Minister of Information and Communication. This morning, they give you updates on the sick so far, and also the speech yesterday where President make, who I confirm say one of insecurity staff them test positive. Mr. Minister, we don't see people that don't call on government for lockdown for some say 21 days, some say 14 days, the latest of which now the Salone Bar Association. And also yesterday, where the press conference been say they and cancel, people will speculate again say now lockdown they come. But it's not the situation with regards lockdown. Would they see anyone just now?
Yeah, well, first, let we not say the president will get in a person where they take in time, where they take decisions, where they affect 7.3 million people. They know they take them decisions then lightly, and they get advice. All man they talk to them. Just like the way the Bar Association they talk, just like the way the Sierra Leone Medical and Dental Association they talk, now so they listen to other voices at home and abroad. So where they do that one day, normally they take the best decision in considered opinion for the good of the country. We don't hear them calls here for a lockdown here and there. Asthma, they read some thing then this, one of the World Bank author. Then single out an African president, na Tanzania, and other leaders who know they just carbon copy what they do in the West. Who know they just copy and paste what in the West they do in other countries. When we talk about the West, for example, most of them get welfare states there. Then get things there when they give them people there. If you lock it up for 1 month, 2 months, all them monthly, at least basic subsistence there for them people then they. Here in Sierra Leone, we are aware a large chunk of the population, if they not go out, they not get something for it. They need that. Then they live by hand to mouth. Again, what they call about a lockdown, 14 days nationwide. There are implications. Where government decide today for lockdown for 3 days, there are clear objectives we wish to achieve. 1, we want to break the chain of transmission. 2, we want to trace and isolate and treat all the contacts then, the primary contacts then of the people that will be get the positive cases will be get at the time. We also be want for test the resilience of the various systems that will put in place, quarantine facilities, all ends in we'll be able to achieve largely. So when they talk about a 14 days lockdown, I suppose you need for do things and during that 14 days. For example, you want to do random tests then, yeah, you want to do them things. So normally, the presumption is that you get enough test kits in country for able to support you parenting. Again, for let you take a 14 days lockdown decision, it therefore be backed by predicated on hard evidence, compelling evidence, on data, on statistics, or something like that. In the opinion of government, we don't get all of them in for confirmed widespread community transmission.
But right? Already the disease not reach na community level.
Yeah, but when they say community level, now that we wait for that proof for the, they just say.
But we know the test.
Yeah, well now they talk. Yeah, the test now they do not confirm that one. They say there is a potential for widespread community transmission. Once we get that one, they supported by data, supported by evidence, compelling evidence. I can tell you, say the president not shy away from locking this country down for 14 days, even 21 days, or as necessary. So, that is his prerogative.
So they say, as it is now, nothing like 14 days.
No, we don't get any compelling evidence for locking the country down for 14 days. But like I say, this is a very, very fluid situation. They change on a daily, hourly, some days secondly basis. So everything remains on the table. But as I talk to you, the information will privilege to not the point to that one immediately.
All right, they cancel you back.
Everything remains on the table.
All right, we'll therefore can't talk about waiting the country gets, particularly test kits after this break.
They causing confusion.
But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look him block them with them beat for him, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen, me wall down for them, all the block them all don't scatter. It like say some kind of magic there behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country. When a 42.5 R grade cement, when a one day come na this country, and a one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5R cement, you no go regret am. You go get Dangote 42.5R cement na all the sharp and building material store na the one whole country.
The program is still listening to Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. 8:13 at the time from we studio control clock, and we still get with studio guest Mohammed Rahman Swari, we are the Minister of Information and Communication. They talk on the issues of the fight against COVID-19, especially on the president's speech yesterday, which is a one of insecurity. God them be don't test positive, so they go on self-isolation for some time. Mr. Minister, before we go, you been the talk on the efforts them against the fight, and they talk about the 14 days lockdown. We see, they see near if government not get that kind of evidence. But when we look at the issue of test kits, Salone gets enough test kits them for do test them, especially we don't begin get now the provinces.
Well, so let's set the context right. Now the West, now North America, them place and then the producer and the manufacturer for the world. Then say not get enough test kits. Yeah, so, but the good news is we as a country, because of the president in personal relationship with his colleagues there around the world, so through both bilateral and multilateral means, would get test kits then where they last for over a month. I don't read, I follow social media as well, so man and saying attendees with test kits they last for. Sierra Leoneans then, everyone who supposed for doing this together, some of them so selfish, then so wish the very worst for this country, because I see people and they go change, positive cases from 4 to 8, all length in there. But I know say the vast majority of people there, they support government for a lot of fight this fight here and for a lot of winner. You get a few desperate people there for whatever reasons they try to undermine the fight, but the good people of Sierra Leone will prevail. They're not going to win. Government gets over 1 month of test kits there for use, whichever numbers, and at the same time, His Excellency the President did in very deep negotiations with colleagues there around the world, with both bilateral and multilateral partners there, and the indications are very good. We will get additional test kits in coming days and weeks.
Another thing we don't pull for be the right thing now the use of facial mask. We this large even don't launch the campaign on Sunday, which they encourage people for wear facial mask. How government take this? Nothing where government they think for make compulsory.
Well, government already don't make it compulsory for all people that want to work in ministries, departments, and agencies. Anybody who go work for get face mask. If they can't do business, if for any reason you get for do any transactions with a ministry, department, or agency, you for wear a face mask for goodie. I already just know I read now social I read now on a Facebook page why is that there somebody they say me face mask not fit me. Yes, well I'm sorry, and this one not to mama make up, not to my wife make up. If not they make up and for make the one with fit me. This is a pandemic, we all make do what we get. So I want to encourage Sierra Leoneans, if you're able to swan for yourself as long as you're able to keep the virus away.
Okay. In name Mohammed Rahman Swari, Minister of Information and Communication, they talk on issues and the fight against COVID-19, and they don't talk about test kits and other issues that we get for do with the fight against COVID-19. Mr. Minister, take you back to the topic we start with. We get for do with the presidency. Since the president make this speech, it don't get that impact on the people that this is the commander leading the fight. If they are self-isolated, plenty thing worry they can at the mind of the people. When it comes on the health of the president, what you go tell Salone people as it is?
Well, I know to the best of my knowledge, the president hale and hearty. Traditionally, somebody say, I say he's as fit as a fiddle. Yes, I want to repeat that one day again. So, Nadame said yesterday, but want for talk to the media. So, now all for don't know say he is as fit as a fiddle. But I want for assure when I say, like a talking at the tape, the first family okay, they not exhibit any signs of any sickness. For Sierra Leoneans that we're concerned, I want for assure when I say the president is okay, he is alive and kicking, he is well, and he is firmly in control. He will continue to be ably deputized by the vice president and a team of in ministers and people that way across the country. So he's firmly in charge.
Now
and they continue for conduct the daily affairs of state from a host.
Okay, now that the president on isolation, you don't mention that, and it work from home. Yesterday we foresee a press conference for all at 2, according to the announcement, and been postponed to 4, and later a statement coming again today 11 o'clock. Now president day on isolation, this press conference go on?
Oh yes, the press conference is right. I don't tell you, say, I mean, government continue for run. His Excellency is a very empowering president. You know, they micromanage anybody, anything. That one is one of the beauty for work with them. They give you your role, they give you free hand for run now, for administer them. So today, 11 o'clock, we will talk to the media, wins on everything corona, everything whole thing say they of public interest. So they invite the media. But this will be very restricted invitation. We will not go above the normal maximum number. So the rest of the one for joining in, we're not able to make. We will give you how for join the press conference remotely.
Right. Because down the name, people also get concerned with say, you know, say on a ministry, the office, even though it's big, but the people in we can go choke the. No way, not they wanna go give press statements, pass wanna go hold the press conference.
Well, that make what they say, would get select people then, would get cameras, would get radio then, print, mostly, we will make them join the press conference remotely. Once I left on air, then they send the email. Anybody who want to join the press, so go accommodate as many people as possible who want to join the press conference. We yourself now with the preacher, who want for leave them. Yeah, would say maximum 20 people, you know, in the place. You see, we president the hall in press conference, will not exceed that, or want for make sure say we self not able to pass that number there at all. So it will be very, very limited. It will be stringently monitored and controlled. Right? Of course, the precondition is you have to be masked up. You can forget face mask. So that one, it may not say once you go there, you not get face mask.
So, what's the new way when I want to go update the media on?
Well, everything we want to talk to the media, I knew. Boku questions, they way this time so short for acts, and boku other people then they will go like for acts, not to win no more. Then go get the opportunity for acts then questions, then okay. Because the president don't commit say he want for lead a fair, open and transparent fight. So any questions where citizens can get, then we'll ask them during this period.
So, Mr. Minister, earlier we start for talk say the president now that digital president and yes, he try for digitalize the nation, but we see in a situation where bar association they call for closure of the civil matters then for a month, and also we don't see parliaments don't close. Somebody go like for no if you talk about the DSTI, somebody go like argue say then for able create that opportunity for make parliament meet virtually and self we get trials them online.
Well, I know a few countries around the world don't begin experimental. Kenya don't begin experiment digital trials, but I also know say some of problem here, they are as old as 59 years since we got independence. We're not able to solve them all together. But the good news is we don't identify them as issues that we need for tackle. We will tackle them within the period. Corona is not going to make all Sierra Leone's problems go away. Yeah? Because at the end, people then they say, hey, during lockdown, we're not being get water. If we're not going to get water, that 59 years, yeah, government will only do in very best for make sure to intervene because we will keep people there in lockdown, for provide water during that period. But the water problem cannot be a quick fix. You all of the president can talk. The electricity situation will go for take time fix there. So coming back to that question, I know the various projects that they want for support the judiciary, for digitize, for what have you. So that is something where government thinks say interesting for do. I'm not going to make further commitments on that. But this has been the state of the judiciary since independence. Would they try? Would not go solve all problems overnight? But that's a very valid question.
What about the parliament?
There for repatriate home. Yeah?
What about the parliament?
The parliament. Well, parliament interested. This is something I can able. We will get conversation with the leadership of parliament. We, the Ministry of Information and Communications and DSTI, can support them for get virtual parliament sittings. Yeah, I mean that's something because not a huge number. Yeah, only 200. So that is something we can always work for. Do I'm sure. I'm not a technology expert. I sure say I don't arrogate myself for commit because I know the capacity of them two teams there. both DSTI and the Ministry of Information and Communications.
Una last cabinet na be virtual.
Yeah,
how was it?
Oh, it was great. I mean, the same experience. Yeah, you see the exchange documents there, una the chat, una do anything una virtually want for do. Yeah, so you know the missing out except that you know they sit down here your body face to face, but now virtually everything. The experience not the same. In a real life, you bring digitally, right? So very interesting. But not on the first day that the president already been meet with the EOC advisory team, task force, virtually. In the meeting with in counterparts around the world virtually. So this was not new to him. It's not new. They don't do it all the time, and with ease, practice.
And all the ministers then be connected.
All the ministers have been connected. Why you talking to the laugh? The minister they say a person will not be digital. The president is support the transition from analog to digital. So don't worry about that. No, so then they will not pass that thing. Everybody digital.
Okay.
You have to.
All right. Well, we'll go look at messages. Then we don't come now. The program. This one say God bless President Bio for what he did yesterday. Not all men will do that. He didn't get all the opportunity for keep quiet if insecurity being gets this sick. He come out from Alpha.
This one from 0779819819 coronavirus should be a collective fight. Good that President Bio has isolated himself.
Another message where I go look at say, he say thank you Rado. This is why I like you. When you come to the studio, you make it interesting.
This one say, I learned that the president and his family were all tested negative, but why the self-isolation?
More message we don't come now the program this morning. This one on the court issue say, thank you to lawyers like Mr. Mara. It's disappointing to know that the president of the Bar Association appears not to be familiar with Section 19(4) of the Judges' Conditions of Service Act 1983. Hypocritical or not, having heard the rumor as he put it, one would have thought he would have immediately familiarized himself with the provisions that govern judges. I hope he takes the opportunity now to do so. Contrary to his assertion, the Bar Association is and has always acted as a pressure group.
This one says, Mr. Minister, what is now in place for the health care workers as frontline workers?
Thank you, Mr. Minister, for clear and proper clarification about the so many rumors of 14 days lockdown across the country.
This one says, congratulations, Alpha Joy, you are my hero.
This one say, Mr. Minister, please confirm or dismiss the persistent rumor that teacher salaries will be reduced instead of giving them their 30% this month ending. And by the way, why teachers from CC rights?
This one says, Mr. Minister, you are shown it's self-isolation. You should be in self-isolation because you guys have been in several meetings with the president.
Other message we don't come in from Facebook. Tutu Lebel Ahmed say, so let's say you get your high data and proof of community transmission. What do you do now? Why wait for things to get worse before they better? How about we work on aided relief programs where go give we food for days so we go able to lock the country down for save lives?
This one from Mauricine A. Collier na Facebook say, hope everyone will follow the footsteps of our hero, Mr. Abubakar Jallo.
This other message say, I'm so disappointed in the Sierra Leone Bar Association, but what do you expect of a man? Right.
Okay, this one from Mike Joseph Kanu na Facebook say, how comes the bodyguard got infected? The president also said the guard was in quarantine for 14 days. Where did the said guard got himself exposed?
I love my Ministry of Communication. You are the best, from Lord Lux. More message we don't come inside the program. This one say, God bless President Bio. Not to all presidents get mind do what he do. Just for announce say in bodyguard gets the coronavirus. I hope say everybody go be safe.
This one say we should stop advocating for 14 days lockdown because it's a pure waste of time. If we really want to sacrifice to end this virus, we need a 90 days lockdown.
Another message, I hope and pray after the president, Julius Mother Bill self-isolation and his family will be okay. Another message say, Mr. Minister, please clarify if they get for pay we this month, because from the look of things, today the 20th. All right. Well, they come over to we studio guest for response to the messages the Mona don't send.
Okay. Our hotel will now plenty thank you. This truly honestly shows the program very interactive. Sierra Leoneans at home and abroad quite interested in what's in the go on in Salone. Yeah, so this is very good. For all and Texas, then we commend the president in moral leadership. I want to tell you plenty thank you. But couldn't say that the pray say nothing not go wrong with her, Mr. and the rest of Sierra Leone, they join una in that. And wish His Excellency and the first family well, and by extension every Sierra Leonean, particularly in these very challenging times. Somebody don't say which provisions we get for the healthcare workers. Like I say, President Bill na been soldier man. We been get the war with the RUF. Now soldier man they not been the front line people there. They're not being glad because they're not being get the provisions there where they may need for capacitate them and for keeping them motivated at the front. The rest will follow na history. Now, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, they also aware say this new war will depart, this new federal will depart. Now the healthcare workers and then the front line workers and then the soldier man in the front. It has a unique historic opportunity for impact on them and not to take that one lightly. Aware say there have been ongoing discussions with the Sierra Leone Mental and Medical and Dental Association. What they negotiate for all healthcare workers. You know, I understand when I've been getting the junior workers and personnel, but I understand, I don't know, there could have been an information break somewhere. But these negotiations will go on now about the welfare of all medical personnel, right? So they now make quite a range of demands there. All their demands and they are being favorably considered. They don't ask for insurance, they don't ask for risk allowance, they don't ask for various things. You know, a dignified isolation and treatment center for medical workers. This government now a listening government. And this government appreciate the role with medical practitioners in the play. And we not think so any of them demands they have to ask for an arm and a leg. So government they kindly consider them and they know so within discussions, some of them are nearing implementation. Right? So government definitely they treat the matter with concern healthcare workers with all seriousness.
Before you come to the other text message them on the healthcare workman them, some don't they volunteer for some time now, no get PIN code.
Yeah, you are aware say
this go attracts than they again?
No, you are aware say some may not volunteer. Long time even before Okana power. Okana government for the first time, some in 10 years will give them PIN code. Then get her and they are very grateful. I appreciate that. Right?
But what about the remaining?
No, we cannot guarantee so they employ all man to get today. This country has a massive joblessness problem, like most countries in in Africa. So we cannot employ everybody today, but given the opportunity, we would like to do that any day. Because we think saying that people that want to invest in the human capital development, they are ready to serve, they are ready to give back to the motherland. So then people then therefore be given opportunities. But unfortunately, not everybody they will employ bring on the payroll. So somebody they ask teachers and 30%. I think it look like say na negative fabrications now they thrive in this country, not to the rare news. We don't say this government, now government way they make commitments and keep every inch of the way. We don't say 30% salary increase for all teachers with their government payroll this April. Government committed to that. We are doing that. We are not changing that. I mean, we are not know for zigzag. We are not know for maneuver commitments that we don't make. So we are paying the 30% salary increase for all teachers. We are committed to doing that. I know say a group of mischievous people then last week, they used the press secretary in letterhead and circulate because of coronavirus. Look, this is a very serious government, right? We'll make them commitments and they not to show you the council just in case you want to forget a second thought. Then people then they're represented by unions. Then you talk to Labour Congress, you talk to SLTU, the health, various infrastructure. They where you get for talking anything in the truth. So we are committed to paying that. Okay, somebody they suggest say myself for day in self-isolation. Well, definitely, if I get to reason for going to self-isolation, I go do that because the president not set a moral standard in IASO. And when you do that one day, you don't show a lot of respect for your family, for your friends there, and the country there, and you don't support the war against COVID-19. So if at any time, me get any reason for going to self-isolation, I will most graciously do that. And I will appeal to my other colleagues there for do the same thing, right? So that one is very, very important. And we will live by moral example. I mean, that one is not only good for you, sir, it's good for your loved ones there. I get a beautiful family. You get the party there. You get to in the country. This will be a way of bolstering the capacity. But you're not going to self-isolation because that is becoming trendy. Just like, they say, do 14 days. So man, they even say, do 90 days. Because now so they don't see other people than they do. You understand, eh? So I'm not going to join a Me Too movement. Yeah. With the dual based on evidence, compelling evidence. So, yes, any day we'll get supportive data, compelling supportive data. The president will review the situation. Remember when we declare the state of emergency, the talk say everything is on the table. Another discount, anything, everything there on the table, as long as Napoleon Sierra Leone win this war against COVID-19, for make sure say we not lost Sierra Leonean lives, for make sure say this sickness scatter go far. Somebody talk about salaries, of course. I mean this is foolishness. You work for salary. We're month done. We have not declared bankruptcy. We have not declared insolvency as a country. We're month done. You work for her, you will get paid.
All right. We can look at other issue, but somebody, Mike Brewer on Facebook, they say lockdown is counterproductive. Masking in all public places and travel restrictions suffice. With aggressive contact tracing can slow the spread with hand washing and social distancing. Mandatory masking is the way forward. Our approach should be both public health and economic approach. Make mask wearing mandatory, not just for the elites, few or working class. Mr. Minister, when they encourage people because this Idiabako 10,000 for mask.
Well, so yes, we encourage, like I say, for government officials, then they would not make a mandatory. Anybody who visit government premise, that is mandatory. No two ways about that. So when you come under, we also very strongly encourage members of the public for mask up. You say na 10,000 now. Well, Kasanke, they are past that one day. They are past 10,000. Yeah. Hospital bill, they are past that one day. So they encourage people to choose the cheaper one. The cheaper one is masking up, respecting social distancing, proper cough etiquette, not shaking hands, and obeying all the things with the body workman and the tell you. I think that one day the important thing.
David say why is it that the country was not informed about the guard being in quarantine? Only yesterday when he was said to have tested positive. The waters are murky, it seems.
That David Posse, I don't know what he said. Have we told you the identities of everybody that has been in quarantine? We don't pledge for respect the confidentiality of the patients there. We don't pledge for be professional, for be ethical, right? And that is what we will continue to do in spite of other opinions there, other people that hold, we're not backed by any logic and what have you. So I want to use this opportunity for commend the Ukmande, na 34 government hospital, and indeed all other treatment centers there across the country who are involved with this fight for a job well done. When Allah will continue for do that one day. I mean, that is the right proper thing to do. So I also want at this point for congratulate the index case, Alpha Joe now, formerly patient number 1. Alpha Joe, I want to congratulate her for having gone through this thing, and appreciation of the workers there. Government will continue for supporting workers and so that the experience what Alpha Joe gets, where other patients and they will continue to get a more reassuring experience. I want to tell them all thank you for that. Government, they continue to do well. Again, all the 6 survivors there, all the 6 people that wouldn't fully recover, I want to congratulate them and congratulate all Sierra Leoneans for their prayers and their thoughts. See, then go through this process.
Right.
I want to assure everybody, say government will continue to do very best for ensure say we bolster this response, we strengthen this response to COVID-19, letting us scatter into this country and take away Sierra Leonean lives there.
Inter-district lockdown, the 14th for done, I think around the next week, the 24th or so. Any plans for extend them?
Well, like I say, once we get evidence, compelling evidence, you know, we take decisions. They want to take decisions on whim, yeah, on public pressure, on waiting. This president, this government, very, very measured, or very methodical. Any decision we will take, get a solid premise, a solid basis. We will not get that basis yet. But the president may not say everything else remain on the table. This is a virus where nobody no understand, even at the West and North America, nobody no understand. So as the change, that's what we said the change will strategy there. So let us keep an eye on government information services. Anytime we government change in mind, they want to introduce new deal, new measures, we will announce that.
Somebody on Facebook been they ask when una they transform then press conference here to online.
Well, today we'll do a hybrid. Today you're gonna be a hybrid press conference. You get a few people in there, camera people, radio people, few. The rest of the other people then, the rest of the other journalists then go join in online, who will share the waiting. I know the last week we try for do been challenging. So when the journalists will go for work, they'll understand how you join into a virtual press conference and how you do that in the all. So we'll organize training for that in the next 2 days. The ministry will organize training because this is, life is never going to be the same again after COVID-19. We'll go for learn for take advantage of the situations here. Yeah. Doing things virtually, working from home, and all that in there. So the journalists themselves, when our own constituency went there, now we did, we want for support there. Let us say transition, the one that we see the lag behind, we know they will work as fast as the rest of them for transition into a digital era, so that we'll be able to do that in there, conduct businesses online and what have you.
Okay, somebody they ask if we get plan for open the international borders soon.
Well, again, I don't see anything what they do get for be dependent on hard evidence. Waiting don't change now get for open the international border. With Liberia getting more and more numbers, with Guinea getting more and more numbers. So waiting will be the rationale. So some question and before we ask them, we say for don't ask we say because waiting in the first place make all close borders. Because the numbers in other countries then they begin go up. Right? So now they are going up and up and up. Why anybody for contemplate for open the borders? That would be a suicide mission. And I'm not sure this government intends to do that.
Right.
To value the very precious lives of Sierra Leoneans, who keep the borders closed, except otherwise informed by evidence, by data, by statistics say, nothing will happen with the open the borders.
Everything more or less they on hold now. Salone Day 59, next week Monday. What's in the government plan?
Well, my own personal opinion. This is not my opinion, and I know we're in the midst of government 2 years, right? Recently, President Bill 2 years in office, but President Bill bothered about saving the very precious lives of Sierra Leoneans. So all in focus, in energy, they don't dedicate time to this fight, right? So number one, the distraction of talking about celebrating 2 years, even though we're all aware, say, in 2 years, we don't make phenomenal achievements there as a government. We don't score boku goals there. We have dared where others have failed in the past, in the 59 years of governance history. But still, President Bill wants to dedicate time to this. Independence, yes, a very important landmark in history. But for me, we rather use this 59 years as a period for reflect on a long journey, 59 years on. Then they say, I watch them people, then I watch some people them in the dance, the masquerade, them, young people them. So many somebody they watch at Independence that video. I said, them people there have been in the dance, then them where are they now? Where are they now? Were their dreams for independence achieved in their lifetime? So all that in the day, all they sit down talk, I think say we for use 59 years for reflect, who's out come on, who's out don't reach, what's not been the missed opportunities, who's out the get for, and all that in the day. And we commit ourselves as Sierra Leoneans to a good fight for make sure say we carry Mama Salone go before. And we are lucky in history, we got the government at this time where they mark 59 years, we're committed, we get body and soul commitment to moving this country forward. So we will use this moment there for reflect and see how we support government for make their independence dreams and they come true.
All right. Well, thank you so much, the Minister of Information, Mohamed Rahman Soare, for where you can this morning and talk about what you they do, updates on the coronavirus, and also the statements we President make yesterday. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure. God bless.
All right. Now, so the program Good Morning Salone, they left you for today. Plenty thank you to the production team. Michael Sambola and Alex Torrance Coleman will produce the program, and all who that make this program with you. Until then, Mina Asma James, wish you all the best.
And Musa Eskamara say bye bye. Always wash your hand and with soap and water, and always mask up and observe social distancing. As mask up now the mood inside the studio right now, and for today.
Time limit station. I'll let you get inside with Good Morning Salone program. We continue with more programs then, and as we get information, we'll be and come up out there.